Welcome, everyone. I am so excited that you are here, my incredible empowered empaths. And today we are going to talk about what it's like to go to a family gathering if some of your family members may be toxic, or what to do if you don't have a place to go to, no family or loved ones that you want to spend Thanksgiving with. So let's take a look at both of those polarities. And today we're going to discover how you, as an empathic being, can not just survive the holiday, but actually bring love to the table and enjoy yourself. So I've got a lot of notes here that I want to make sure that you have the best Thanksgiving experience, or any holiday for that matter, any family gathering or any gathering where you are one of many. I want you to have the most incredible experience that you possibly can. So first of all, understand who you are as an empathic being, because you're not going to be able to change this, but you will be able to work around it. If you try to ignore that you are sensitive, if you try to ignore that you can pick up all of the feelings in the room and you don't know always when they are being directed at you, or when it's just something that somebody is holding because they're in a particular headspace for that moment or for that gathering, then it can be quite confusing, and you can get yourself into some very messy situations. So understand, going in, you're going to be more sensitive than most of the people in the room with you, unless you're in a room with other empathic people. You will feel more obligated, and you will desire to keep the peace. It doesn't matter that it's costing you something. You just want everyone to have a nice time and to feel good. And you are going to feel all of the energies, whether they are good or bad. You're not going to ignore the ones that you don't want to interact with. You're going to feel all of them. So what can you do? The first thing you've got to do is go prepared. This is not going to be an out of the blue invitation that you're not ready for. We know the holidays are coming up, or these family gatherings, they're usually planned quite far in advance. So recognize that you're going to be a sponge, but you don't have to be when you are prepared. You don't have to pretend, first of all, that you're not sensitive. One of the ways that you can do this and really give yourself an edge is to limit or completely exclude drugs and alcohol. If you know you are going into a situation which can prove to be difficult to navigate, no drugs or alcohol. It limits your ability to be in control of what you receive and how you react. The other thing is to create a safe space for yourself. What is it, that role that you want to adopt? Do you want to be the good listener in the room, the good helper, the person who's helping in the kitchen, helping with the children, helping by serving? Give yourself a role. But if you don't like children, don't volunteer to help with the children. You're going to be expected to do whatever job it is that you have volunteered to do. So if you enjoy serving, serve. If you are a phenomenal cook, or you just love the Zen work of chopping vegetables, volunteer there. If you really are great at listening and you enjoy hearing other people's stories, be the good listener. Just make sure that you've checked in with your heart and you are doing something that really feels good to you and not something that someone else has suggested you should do. Remember, too, that this role is not going to define you. It doesn't say this is all that you are, but it does say this is the one of the things that you are choosing to do because you want to bring love to the table. And when we are contributing in some way, when we are active, you are going to feel less under the microscope, less likely to become the object of the toxic individual's affections. So you're less likely to hear the comments, and while you're busy doing something that makes you feel good, you're going to be much better able to navigate the energies that are swirling in the room. Now, of course, the thing that you need to do before you get there, as part of your preparation, is to make sure that you are grounded and shielded. Those of you who are in my Heart's Desire community, we have the premier shielding gifted to us by the angels, clearing and shielding on Rainbow Island. That's going to get you through absolutely any circumstance, whether it is a group gathering of people that you know or you have to go out into society. But that is only available if you're part of my community, and all of you are welcome to the My Heart's Desire community. You can get that information on my website, and I'll put it in a link in the comment section below. So just know that your best defense is always the offense of shielding, being prepared with, what am I going to do when I get there? I don't want to just be standing there looking like a deer in the headlights, obviously confused, just waiting for a toxic person who needs to feel superior in some way to come and monopolize my time and my energy and start making me feel badly. When I go shielded, I have a much better chance of getting in there and controlling the energy I put out and the energy that I receive. And when I go with a plan of action about how I am going to help out wherever I am, I feel like I have a purpose, and I am therefore feeling better about me, and feeling better about you keeps you in alignment, and alignment is a natural shielding to all negative energy. Negative energy is low energy. Aligned energy is the highest energy. And when you are in this high place, that negative toxic energy, it has no way to interact or intersect with you. So it's kind of like giving yourself a free pass. But as I said before, since you, empowered empaths, are going to feel obligated in some sense, it is so much better to go prepared and decide how it is that you're going to be part of this event. And you're not limited to any of the examples that I gave. These are just ways that you can do something that will keep you occupied so that you're kind of out from under the radar of those people who like to share insults or deprecating comments. And if you go to a gathering where it's love and joy and laughter, which is the kind of gathering that I get to go to now, so thank you to all my friends and family for making that possible, then just go and enjoy yourself. But even if you are just going to enjoy yourself, it's always fun to bring something to share that feels good to you. And that can be a game, that can be a story, that can be anything that you feel will contribute or help you contribute in some way. I want you to remember too that dreading going to the event is not preparation. I remember all of the years that I used to prepare by rehearsing how much I was dreading going to the event. That doesn't prepare you, it doesn't shield you, it doesn't uplift you. What it does do is put you in that negative vibration where you're on the same wavelength with all of the toxic people that are also there, and that makes you a target for their toxicity. So, dreading is not preparing. Knowing what you'll do when you get there absolutely is a way to prepare. But as I said before, if you want to go out into the world in any way, shape, or form, and you are empathic and you think you can just walk out the door and feel fine without any kind of preparation, no meditation, no shielding, no intention setting, you're really fooling yourself and you are setting yourself up for failure. So what happens when we set ourselves up for failure? Then we lower our vibration because we start saying things to ourselves like, oh, I knew this was going to be terrible. Or you start blaming yourself for the emotions that other people are feeling. So set the intention. I already know that I'm going to have an amazing time because I'm going to this event shielded with an idea of what I can bring or how I can help, so that I will be busy feeling good about what I'm offering instead of trying to hide in the corner hoping that nobody is going to be able to see me. Very important that you take proactive steps. Remember too that I said in the beginning that an empathic truth is that you always want to keep the peace. So if you have somebody who is starting a very heated political discussion, this is probably not the right place to express your polar opposite view. Just allow them to continue. You can say things like, well, that's a very interesting opinion. Oh, I can see that you've spent a lot of time really thinking about this, or other ways that you are validating them without saying that you agree with their opinion. And this works especially well if you are dealing with somebody that has views that are very different from yours. Perhaps you have a person in your gathering that is extremely prejudiced and you find that really irritating. Well, you can get into a big fight with them, but that's going to ruin everybody's time. Or you can say, well, that's an interesting opinion. You have neither validated or unvalidated their views. You've simply acknowledged the person. I don't want you to agree with a person who is spouting prejudicial things or things that go against your belief system. But you can support the individual. You can share love and kindness without agreeing to their toxicity. Remember also, you are going to want to save the day for everybody at the gathering. But every single person there has free will. They do not need you to rescue them, unless they are a child. If they are a child, then absolutely step in front and redirect the conversation. But if this is a gathering of adults, or the adults are the ones that are getting into a heated discussion, you do not have the job of getting in the middle and trying to keep peace. If it's possible for you to change the subject to something less volatile, absolutely you can do that. But please don't assign yourself the role of peacekeeper. Let the people have the experience that they have chosen to have. I also want you to be so busy doing something that makes you feel good that you are not even paying attention, and so you can't get drawn in to the fray. You have an opportunity to just feel good that you're doing something of value to help, rather than you're stuck in this same old conversation with Aunt Mary, perhaps, who's had too much to drink and may not even understand what she is saying or how she's coming across. Remember, too, that you are not in charge of anyone else's well-being. If you choose to be an uplifting and inspirational person, fabulous, wonderful, delightful. But if they do not want to receive your inspiration or your help in any way, you're not obligated to keep insisting that they receive from you. I just want you to be an overflowing well of joy, and you can do that with your high vibrational aligned presence, and you don't ever need to say a word. That's what I think is one of the most beautiful truths about alignment, which is your presence, your energetic presence, is what is making the difference. Not what you are saying necessarily or what you are doing, but just your ability to stay in an aligned state is what is allowing you the ability to be or make a difference in that holiday gathering or any gathering. So just be you, your beautiful, loving, inspirational, upbeat self, if you possibly can. If you're having a bad day, then do the best that you can. You're under no obligation. Take the pressure off yourself. Remember that no matter what you do, you are always going to be an empath before you go to the event, while you are there, and once you leave. So, again, I'm going to remind you, you must go shielded. You cannot go wide open and expect that it's going to be a successful time. Meditation is another really impactful tool. I mentioned it earlier. Meditation allows you to clear out some of the noise, some of the stuff that you may have picked up just from living every day. So it just gives you a chance to calm your own energetic beingness and just be you successfully. I would also recommend that if you know that it's going to be a long time that you're there before you are going to have any food available, eat some protein before you go. You do not want to be in a state where you're feeling weak because you haven't eaten, or you are feeling hyped up because you had a lot of sugar or caffeine. Eat some solid protein before you go so your whole energetic system will feel stabilized. If you know that it's going to be a long time between when you arrive and when food is going to be served. No sugar, limit your caffeine, skip the junk food. You're going to have plenty of delicious food at any holiday gathering. You don't need to fill up on empty calories right before you go. They're not going to help you. And remember that you want to prepare or to know mentally what you're going to be doing ahead of time. You don't want to get there, look around, start getting overwhelmed, start panicking, and then blurt out, oh, you know what, I'll organize some games for the kids if you feel I really don't like young children. They really annoy me. So before you go, shield, meditate. That's going to clear you. Eat something and decide, gosh, what do I like to do? Do I like serving? Do I like mixing drinks? Do I like cooking? Do I like doing something with children or anything else that you know is going to be part of the gathering? You could just go with a whole bunch of jokes or stories if you love to do that kind of thing. There's no right or wrong way in which you can offer to serve, but we do want you to have some idea so that you don't feel lost when you get there. And now here's my favorite of favorite ways to cope. Let's say you forgot to shield. You haven't meditated in weeks and your work has been really stressful, so you're really anxious when you arrive and you didn't eat a thing. You know within 5 minutes of walking through the door that you probably should have meditated, shielded, and eaten something. What do? Do you throw up your hands and run out the door? Do you start making excuses for why you have to leave early? Do you just grin and bear it and hope it won't be as bad as some of the other occasions that you've been to? No. There is something that you can do that will be, nobody can take offense to. Nobody will know whether this is true or whether you're just taking a break. And it will give you the time that you need to gather yourself, get back in alignment, and shield yourself. That is taking a bathroom break. It is my favorite of all favorites for whenever I feel that I'm starting to get out of alignment, get overwhelmed, or that I need to reinforce the shields. Because depending on the situation you're in, if you're in a situation with a lot of people, you may need to regularly reinforce the shields. And if you feel uncomfortable doing it where you are, go to the bathroom. Oh, excuse me, I just have to use the bathroom. No one will know whether you need to use the bathroom or whether you're going off to shield yourself. But you will know when you come back feeling calmer, more in alignment, and with shielding in place, that you will have gifted yourself something really, really fabulous and worthwhile. So make sure you know how to shield before you go. Now, we only have a few more minutes, and I want to take a look at the other side of this coin. What happens if you don't have anyone to spend the holidays with? If you don't, I'm so sorry. I know that you would be a valuable addition to my holiday gathering, and I'm sorry that you don't live close enough to come over, because we always enjoy having extra people come to our holiday festivals or festivities or any of our gatherings. We just have a great time, and the more people, the better. So you're always welcome at my house, but I am sorry if you've either don't have family, or you've been disowned by your family, or you find that your family gatherings are just so toxic that you don't feel comfortable going. I am terribly sorry. So what do? Well, obviously you can sit at home and feel sorry for yourself. You can sit at home and microwave a meal and just feel badly that your life is in this place. That's not going to raise your vibration. That's not going to bring you joy. It's not going to bring anyone else joy. And it's not the best use of your time. So, what can you do? Well, I've got a couple of suggestions. And as always, you are not limited to what I have suggested. These are just possibilities for you. And these are things that I have done with my family in the past because it was just such a wonderful experience. So, first of all, determine who you would most enjoy engaging with on this day or during this occasion. Adults, children, animals. They are always, and let's not just say children, because children can be broken up into teens and the younger children. So adults, teens, children, or animals, because you can find things to do in any one of those categories. And of course, you can break animals down by species, but we're not going to do that today. You're all perfectly capable of doing that. So choose first your area of comfort in terms of the type of people. Then choose your area of comfort in terms of what you are willing to be with. These are situations. So, are you okay with people who are sick, people who are dying, people who are elderly, or animal mayhem? And by that, I don't mean that animals are always chaotic, quite the opposite. But if you go to a shelter or one of those circumstances, there are a lot of animals, there's often barking or crying or different things, and it can feel a little much. And so you've got to make sure that that's not going to cause you to have a problem before you agree to do this. Now, once you know what group you're comfortable with and what situation you're comfortable with, then find someplace close to your house or wherever you may be, if you're going to be on vacation during that time, close to wherever you are, where you can be a volunteer. So, now COVID restrictions may still apply, so you're going to have to look into that and find out what you can and cannot do. But perhaps hospitals need your help. You know, there's always the service for in the neonatal unit when they are looking for people to come and hold the babies, because that is so impactful in their ability to thrive. But again, COVID, I don't know. So you got the possibility of hospitals, nursing homes, halfway places, or orphanages, animal shelters, any kind of nonprofit organization might need help, like a soup kitchen. Any group that is reaching out to another group, no matter who they are, as long as you are comfortable with them and they can allow visitors, you could really make a difference in your own life and the lives of everyone that you're going to interact with that day. But before you go, remember, these are people that you don't know. These are energies that you've never experienced before. So you must go shielded. Do not participate in any drugs or alcohol. That lowers your resistance to keep your shielding up. Only go if you are mentally capable of dealing with whatever the situation offers. Do not go because you feel obligated. It is not an obligation, and you are not to put yourself at risk. If you feel you can go and get something magnificent, then do. And don't stay beyond your energetic capacity. So if you know that you can be in a group of strangers for 30 minutes and then you really start having a rough time, plan on being there for 25 minutes so that you don't go too far. But if you know that in 25 minutes, if you go into the bathroom and reshield and just kind of clear out anything that you might have picked up, then set an alarm on your phone for 25 minutes and make sure that you are shielded, and do that every 25 minutes and stay as long as you are comfortable. But again, the minute you become uncomfortable, say goodbye, thank them for having you there, and put yourself first. You are the most important person in your life. If you have put yourself into an uncomfortable position, the only one that is there to get you out, whether you're in a huge family or you're by yourself, it's always you. You are responsible for you. Other people are not responsible for you. So honor yourself. Honor your strengths and honor your weaknesses. Don't push yourself past your limits. Now, if you decide that you can't do any of these things and you're sitting home and you feel good about that, congratulations, because sometimes we just need a rest. Doing nothing, sitting home, watching movies, or doing whatever feels good to you, reading a book, doing a puzzle, playing video games, any of those things, if that feels good to you, if that feels nurturing and self-honoring, do it. It is not punishment to honor yourself. It is also not punishment if you choose not to go to a holiday gathering. It is simply a choice. So whether you decide to go or you decide to stay home, as long as it's your choice and you can feel good about the choice that you made, then I'm with you all the way. However, if you decide to be alone, be prepared. Make sure you have something to eat. Have something planned to do so the day just doesn't stretch out ahead of you forever. And I mentioned a few things, any kind of project, anything that is fun for you, anything that feels good. But this should not be a day when you have a long list of chores that you've put off and you feel like you're punishing yourself by doing them. Do something that feels good. Do something that feels like it has a built-in reward. But please don't overindulge. Again, no overindulging in the drugs and alcohol. It's not going to bring you the reward that you're hoping. It's just going to create less of an ability to really shield. And you're probably going to feel badly afterward. And you as an empath don't need any more reasons to feel badly about yourself. That is something that empaths do because we feel so responsible for other people. We tend to make up reasons why we should feel bad about not being enough. Allow yourself to be more than enough. It is truly the truth of who you are. So allow yourself to see the truth and to really recognize all that you are and all of your magnificence. And understand too, whether you have a place to go that feels toxic or whether you don't have a place to go, you are not broken. There's not something wrong with you. This is just the place that you are in your life right now. And you can choose to occupy a different place by changing the way you are looking at everyone that you are interacting with or choosing not to interact with. Love you, honor you, respect you, accept you. See yourself as the valuable, incredible, wonderful being that you are, and others will begin to see you that way as well. So thanks for being here, everybody. I so appreciate each one of you. Have a lovely, lovely holiday. This is Dr. Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, and I'm sending you all my love and my deepest gratitude from my heart to yours. Much love.